So we had a very exciting morning over here, or at least Lucas did. Shaggy tried to escape today. Where we live here, we back onto a properties called The Invasion, which is where a whole bunch of local people have just kind of like set up their houses and have just built houses in the middle of the jungle, which is probably where he was living before and was smart enough to go to the grocery store so that he could find people to feed him. Anyway, he took off into the invasion this morning, so Lucas was jumping fences, running through bushes. It's been a very dramatic morning, but we got him. We got him. Apparently at one point they were surrounded by like a pack of 9 dogs. 7? Okay, we can embellish a little. A whole pack. Okay, so I think we're all almost here. It's 9 a.m. on the dot. We're going to get started in a few minutes. So today we're just continuing on with the theme of twist and binding. So if you guys have, or if you haven't grabbed it yet, grab yourself a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can also grab like an old t-shirt. You can grab a towel, anything that allows you to just kind of like create a little loop, give you a little bit more space. Before we get started, any requests? Are there anything regarding twisting and binding, questions that you have already within your practice, things you want me to go over? And if you're like, nah, I'm just here for whatever you're gonna give me, just get down into child's pose. All right. Yes. So Christine asked a really good question. Is there anything to watch out for to protect the rotator cuffs? One is just making sure that you're not letting the shoulder blades round forward. When we're binding, we're really trying to use that bind to pull the shoulder blades onto the back and down. And that's why we're also going to incorporate using a strap so that you're not pushing yourself too far. So we're gonna talk about a little bit more as we move through what is the difference between something being a little bit too much. And really when we're stretching and working on any kind of posture where we're working into a deeper variation, you wanna make sure that you're really taking your time to ease into these things and not just going from like 0 to 100. You have to give yourself days, sometimes weeks and months to allow the body to open up gradually. And your breath is always a really good indicator, is always your best teacher for when you're pushing the physical a little too far. But we'll talk more about that when we get there. So, child's pose. Take your arms out in front of you. Take a really nice deep breath in between the shoulder blades. Let your back body rise. Big expansion all the way up. Keep filling the lungs, filling the rib cage from side to side. The back body keeps lifting, inhaling like you've been filled with helium. As you exhale, spread your fingers, press each one down into the mat. Press the forearms down. Wrap the shoulder blades away from one another. Shoulder blades draw down your back and away from the spine. Lift your hips 2 inches off your heels. Look forward. Run your fingers a little bit further up the mat. Make little tents with your hands. Elbows really wrap down, so exaggerate from here. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, pull the hips back. Pull the shoulder blades down. Create space. Depending on how tight you are, sometimes the head might not touch the floor. With the hands lifted, that's okay. Just try to soften the heart down and pull yourself back, shoulders and hips. Fingers reach and run up and away. As you inhale, round and curl up. Bring your toes in line with your knees. Chin, chest, throat comes down to the mat. Tailbone stays high. Let your heart fall heavy down into the floor. Elbows squeeze in and press back. Grip the fingertips. Roll your sit bones higher. We hold for 3. Press the shoulders back. 2. Tuck your toes if they're not already. Slide your way through your belly into cobra for 1. And release. Coming back up for 2. And release. This one we're holding at the top, so set yourself up nice. Inhale, we're coming up. Upward facing dog, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Inward rotation through the thighs. Take a little rock side to side, make any adjustments you have to. Soften your elbows. Wrap the elbows into your body, broaden your collarbones, press up and out of the heel of the hand without locking the elbows. For 3. Wrap the shoulder blades around the spine. Strong legs, press down to go up. 2. Slowly release all the way down to the mat. Take your right arm out beside you, wrist and shoulder one line. We roll open. Maybe the left hand comes up to the sky. Don't overdo it, we're just warming up. Inhale into the center of your chest. Exhale to let that left hand fall a little closer. And switch, roll through center. Left arm out. Right hand in, roll open. Inhale into the chest. Exhale, soften the hands towards one another. Nice. Slowly come back into center. Press your way up onto your forearms. Right leg comes up. Lift the elbows. Bring the left arm under and move into a twist. So left arm goes all the way under across the middle of the mat, and then you're going to roll your chest open to the sky. Use your inhale, create lots of length through the entire body, from the crown of the head through the toe. And then as you exhale, keep all that length and move through center. 2 opposite directions from your belly button. Letting gravity take that right hand, right shoulder a little further each exhale. And if you want a little more sensation, really focus on pressing that right shin away from you. Both hip bones facing the floor. Deeper stretch. Slowly release. Come back through center, unravel and switch. Left leg comes up just to hip height, just 90 degrees. Float the elbows off the mat. Take your right shoulder across the middle of the mat. A really big reach, and then rolling open. Hand to tailbone if you like, to give yourself a little more length. Hand to rib cage, a little self-assist, or hand to sky. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Inhale for length. Exhale for rinse. Slowly release. Pull the right arm out. Come back to the belly. Tuck your toes. We lift up, cobra. We press through tabletop. We move back, child's pose, hips to heels. Deep breath in. And big breath out. Rounding curl, tabletop. Tuck your toes, go back. Downward facing dog. So set your stance, take up a little bit more space than usual. Normally we set ourselves up narrow. Feet hip width, 2 knuckle width side by side, maybe 2.5. And just start to work it out. Soften the heels down towards the mat, but more so pull the tailbone up and back to the sky. Elbows wrap down and away for 3. For 2. Press forward, high plank and pause, hold, elbows wrap back, arms hug into the midline. Hips and shoulders same height. 3.